Welcome to another Numismatic Notes with Benjamin. I am Benjamin, and today I am sharing with you part 9 of my banknotes that all celebrate the splendid cow. I have found more banknotes around the world with cows, and since I've filmed these 8 previous videos and then this 9th one now, I've found probably enough to have another 6 or 7 videos, and who knows? I'm not cow crazy. I'm not crazied out yet on the cow. I may just end up doing doing these videos on the blessed bovine. I love cows, have ever since we had bottle calves on the farm, and if you've never been licked by a cow, well, you just don't know what you're missing. And no, I don't mean that crazy kid in middle school either. I mean the farm animal cow, just a sweet, sweet little animal, loving, looking at you with big eyes, and just adore you. I've always felt better whenever I have a cow that responds well to my personality and understands me even whenever I don't. Let's get started though. This banknote may have appeared on some previous videos and other places because I love banknotes with a lot of color. This is a Costa Rican 5 colones, and if you look right here, a couple of cows. Yes, these cow videos are not necessarily showing a cow as the main vignette, but you can see lots of cows on banknotes yet. We're going to move over to Swaziland, and here is a 20 or a Lamabili Imalengeni, and here's the present king in a much younger age in 2006 on a kind of purple, kind of gray 20 Imalengeni of Swaziland. And on the front of the note, no cows. Nice serial number, but no cows. And then you turn it over to the splendid purple background, and we have crops. We have a truck that looks like it's hauling timber, and then we also have a herd of cows with pineapples and cotton right here. Lovely cows. Happy looking cows. Let's move over to, I believe this is a Laotian 1000 kip. And on this banknote, it's one of 2 notes that has a series of 3 women dressed up in costumes of locals. And the only one I really know is this costume right here. And I only know that one from that wonderful, wonderful movie called Gran Torino, which was one of the best movies I've ever seen by Clint Eastwood. You remember he lived in a neighborhood that the Hmong people from Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia had moved in, and they wore an outfit like this at his funeral. It's kind of a neat banknote. But I'm not seeing cows, nor would I even want to imply that these lovely ladies are the cows on this note. There are some elephants here in the bottom left-hand corner, but those aren't cows either. Although I think they sometimes call the lady elephant a cow. But I was referring to bovines whenever I made this set of videos, and if you turn this note over, under the power lines in the fields, we have, it looks like, in this case, water buffalo, but these water buffalo are kinds of cows. They're certainly a lot less angry and a lot nicer than some of those Cape buffaloes you'll find on African notes. Speaking of which, let's take a look at this banknote of Ethiopia. This is a 1 birr or ber, and it is a somewhat gray note. And if you look at the right side, we have a vignette of some of those huge horned cows that they like in this part of the world. My Somalia banknotes have a similar cow, and I think even my Kenyan notes might have a couple of cattle like this. And those are hella horns. I don't know how else to say it. They are very clearly not the water buffalo or the Cape buffalo, which have a completely different kind of horn. This is a big horned cow that would give some of the Texas Longhorns out here in my neck of the woods a run for their money. Are there other cows on this note? Nope, just waterfalls and birds, which are important in their own right. But this is a video about cows. So let's move on to this Afghanistani 50 Afghanis. I love this entire series of notes because it shows Prince David, or Dawood Khan. It shows him on the notes. First cousin with the Shah of Afghanistan, and when he took a visit for his health to Italy, his dear cousin overthrew him and became the first president of Afghanistan free of a Shah for centuries, I would guess. He didn't last very long, although he started out, on a high note. I guess he and the king still got along because he was married to the king's sister. But there was a terrible day where the opposition fired on the presidential palace, killed him, many of his kids, and his wife, threw them into a common grave on the palace grounds, and then became the nightmare that the people of Afghanistan have unfortunately had to live with to this very day. And part of that nightmare was Russia. And part of that nightmare had to be not just the U.S. coming in, but making promises that they didn't keep. Creating a security apparatus that they didn't continue to support. And then the Americans just abandoning them and them falling to the Taliban yet again. Makes me very sad. I will always like banknotes of this country. But this side of the banknote has no cows on it. So why on earth was it included in this theme of cows? Here we go. Look at that. You're looking at yak riders. This is the most unique, one of the few unique themes that you can find in banknotes today. There are literally no other banknotes in the world, I think, that have yaks on them that are being ridden. I think Nepal might have some banknotes with yaks on them, but people aren't riding them. It's a heck of a note, and I love the landscape in the background, and I can almost smell and feel the sharp, cold air invigorating me as I'm riding on this cow through the highlands of Afghanistan. Let's move to Madagascar, which is an island off of the Republican, or an island off of the African continent. And we have a lovely young maiden, and we have a fan palm. Some little houses in the background that, for whatever reason, have always made me think of Dutch houses. Or, those old Viking houses that had the cross timbers in the front. Very colorful note. Nothing cow related on this side. But when you turn this note over, you have a landscape. You have those splendid longhorn cattle that we saw on that earlier note of... Was it Swaziland? No, not Swaziland. That other horned beast on Ethiopian. Yeah, Ethiopian note. So we got a lovely little scene of long-horned cattle. A combination of, I guess, shepherds of a sort, farmers and farmer women doing chores at the bottom of the note. Lovely little cow note. And we're going to move from there to a country on the African continent mainland. And this time we're going to be looking at a 10 or a kumi of shillings from Kenya. Well-designed, well-engraved note. And on the back side, a beautiful scene of an extinct volcano and a field. And like so many African notes from this time period, they followed the idea that less is more. And so this design is not cluttered with a whole lot of extraneous information. There is just enough lathe work. There is a border. There is just enough words to show the denomination. And there are 2 splendid cows. Well, there's actually more. There's like 3 or 4. But the 2 in the front are amazing. One of them looks to be male, and the other one has an udder, so I would presume it's not confused, and it understands that it is a lady cow. And the final note I'm going to show you in my Cows on Banknotes is a beautiful little Chinese 10-cent banknote. And this may or may not be a cow, but either way, it's a beautiful blue. My father likes this because it's a KU note, and he just loves following the Jayhawks. I've looked and looked, and I've not found a Jayhawk, but inside one of these pins, it looks like there's a cow in there. Farmers, agriculture, maybe this is a little farm, but this looks like a cow in that building. I can't promise that it is, but I have enough confidence that I think that it could very well be. So when you look at this side of the note, you see that it makes sense for it to have a cow. It is a Farmers Bank of China note after all. But it's one of those weird notes that have a serial number on both sides of the note. In fact, I don't know that I have too many notes that have the serial number on both sides. So it's kind of interesting if you ask me. Well, what do you think, guys? Do you think if I have any other cows that you would like to see me put them in videos? I don't think I've ever done a theme that had to carry over to 9 different videos before. But I want you to like and subscribe and share this channel. And look at my playlist, because I have a playlist that has all my cow videos on there. And anytime I have other cow videos on there, I try to put them in that playlist as well. I'm Benjamin. This is Numismatic Notes with Benjamin. Have a jewel of a day.